Hello, my sinners. I hope you have been well. Today I actually wanted to do a very interesting reading that I've been actually called by Spirit to conduct today. And this rarely happens. Not that I don't want it to, but I just don't usually get called to do any particular readings because all readings are equally important. But this one, in this particular full moon phase we're in right now, my guides are calling me to do a timeless reading about fear. That is what they wish to talk to you about today. I recently watched the movie Alice in Wonderland with Johnny Depp in it. Johnny Depp. And there was a lot of spiritual messages in there for me, and I was inspired to create a spread for you all to dive into this fear of ours. Because most times in life, the things we want most is always behind a wall of fear. And when we can overcome it or face it is when we make the biggest breakthroughs. Sometimes our fears are disguised as pain, self-sabotage, heartbreak. We find different things to hide behind so we can put off facing the one thing that it is that we know we need to face in order to overcome and truly live the life that we want, and to step into the truth and become the person we truly wish to aspire to become this lifetime. So in the movie, for those of you who have not seen it, just a little warning here, there's a little bit of a spoiler. Our Alice, she enters this world where she realizes her task is to slay the Jabberwocky. And as we watch the movie, we come to discover that the Jabberwocky is a symbolic representation of fear itself. And she needs to slay her fears in order to step in the truth of who she is, to realize the power of who she is. She comes across a caterpillar who asks, "Who are you?" And most oftentimes, we fail to be able to answer that because, frankly, we don't even know who we really are. Truly, deep down, all the layers of societal conditioning, influence, pressure, the expectations of needing to become this ideal person for our spouse, for our parents, for our children, for our peers, our teachers, so on and so forth. We're so busy trying to become someone for someone else. We never really truly stop to think, have we become, or do we know who we are truly inside? Have we become the person we want for ourselves? Do we know who we are really deep down inside? Who our true face is? Who are you? What is your reason of being? What is your purpose here? Everyone has a purpose. Your purpose may be different from everyone else's, but regardless, it's still a purpose. When I say purpose, it doesn't mean, yeah, I'm here to serve humanity. I'm here it doesn't have to be so grandiose like that. It could be, my purpose here is to share my art. My purpose here is to contribute to my community. My purpose here is to be the best mother I can be. Everyone has a purpose. Everyone has a deep soul core purpose. And if given the chance, we would step into that. Maybe we're already being great mothers. Maybe we're already being great community contributors, so on and so forth. But if we peel back all the layer of external expectations and we look into who it is that we really are and our true reason of being, maybe our truth is we realize we are happiest when we are singing. We're happiest when we're expressing. We're happiest when we're dancing. We're happiest when we are, hiking. We're happiest when we're bonding and interacting with other people. We're happiest when we're isolated by ourselves. There's different reasons of being. And today's reading is to peel back all those layers into knowing who you truly are. And what is this great big fear that is looming over your head that is preventing you from becoming the person you are really meant to be this lifetime? So with that being said, and the intention set, we have 2 magnetic orbs today to select from. I'm going to zoom up close for you to see. Pile 1, or reading 1, is the dark sphere. It's like a gunmetal gray. Pile 2 is the light silver sphere. Okay? Take your time to choose. And when you're ready, we shall begin. So we're going to go into who are you? Who are you? And we're going to ask our ancestors that question. They're going to answer for us. Who are you? At the core of your being. Okay, pile 1. The dark orb. We are going to ask, who are you? Okay, I will show you guys the cards in a second. Next question is, what is your reason of being? What is pile 1's reason of being? What is pile 1's reason of being? What must you do? Or what must you do and who must you become? What must you do and who must you become? What must pile 1 do and who must pile 1 become? I'm getting some powerful messages coming through here. Next question is, what is your Jabberwocky? What is your fear? What is your Jabberwocky? Who is your Jabberwocky? What is your Jabberwocky? Pile one. Pile one. What is your Jabberwocky? What is your Jabberwocky? What is your Jabberwocky? What is your Jabberwocky? A card, please. What is your... Actually, no, that's good enough. Okay. This is turning out to be a very powerful reading. I can't wait to channel it for you guys. Now, the last one is, what is your Vorpal blade? Your weapon of choice to slay. We're going to use this and what is Pile 1's Vorpal weapon of choice to slay? Okay. I'm also going to pull a card. Another card from the Angelarium when I feel called to. What is your Vorpal blade for power? Weapon of choice to slay. Okay. One more. Powerful, powerful. Okay. I have decided to zoom up close so you guys can see better more of what I'm channeling. Maybe might be a bad idea because I'm gonna move things up. I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna hold it and look at it. So maybe it'll be good. We'll see. Or who are you? Let's see what cards you got. Who are you, Pile 1? Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. Trader, exchange energy to create abundance. Immediately, Pile 1s, I see that you are a social media warrior. That's literally the first words that come into my mind. Why do I say that? I feel like the sword represents your ability to speak your truth so boldly. You have really strong beliefs, worldviews, and what you think is right and unjust in the world. How you express that is through your creations and your art. You might like working with your hands. You use your voice and your hands. You could be a designer. You could be someone who likes to create digital art. You could make crafts. You could create products that heal people. Tradesperson. I'm going to read what the cards mean through the book. Perhaps the messages will give you deeper understanding. Okay, let's see. Shield Maiden. Have a plan or strategy in place before moving forward. About the Shield Maiden is a female knight in shining armor. In Viking traditions, women were seen as equal to men, and so joined them on their raids and fought with them on the battlefield. In this deck, the Shield Maiden brings a fiercely feminine energy, the power to be a warrior while retaining feminine sensitivity. She is ready to put her plan into action. She's ready to go into battle. Her medicine helps us move beyond any unsettled feelings when our plans start to take shape and follow through with our strategies in order to be where we want to be. Shield Maidens work together in times gone by to create shield walls of protection. So she also shows us how to work with others in order to bring our plans to fruition. Extended message. Taking some time to assess what your next steps will be. All great warriors have a plan. You are a sensitive being, and you are not prepared for the tasks you are. If you are not prepared for the tasks you are taking on, you can end up feeling exposed and helpless. The ancestor guidance that is coming to you now is a reminder that you have a warrior's heart, and that you have it within you to be more prepared and focused than you have been recently. So have a strategy in place and let your guides support you as you move forward. Okay, Traitor. Let's see what Traitor is. Okay, exchange energy to create abundance. Make connections. The message says, make connections and exchange information, talents, or support. The trader brings the lesson and energy of exchange. When he appears, he could represent an opportunity to exchange talents, whatever they may be, in order to expand, or about the exchange of energies that come from the universe, or both. For example, if you are a creative person or consider yourself creative, when you share your talents, you are giving them. And when you do so, the universe will give you more in order for you to share more. It's all a beautiful cycle. The trader also reminds you to be open and honest and act with integrity in your exchanges. Because doing something to get something will only lead to challenges. Very true. Extended messages. The universe operates under the law of cause and effect, and is always looking to return to a natural state of balance. So if you are lacking in the feelings of abundance at this time, you are being invited to share your time, your gift, and your understanding with others. If you're frustrated because something isn't unfolding in your life, instead of asking yourself what you can get, ask yourself what you can give. The exchange of energy doesn't necessarily mean financial energy. It can also be about supporting in order to feel supported. If you've been holding back with your offerings, now is the time to change that. Allow yourself to be open, honest, and vulnerable. This can prepare you to open up to even greater opportunity in the coming days, weeks, and months. Yeah, so the message I'm getting is that when they said that you create abundance by exchanging energy, so immediately someone who is a creator, fashion designer, for example, you have to get materials, right? Fabric. Materials that people have created and put their time and energy into, right? You take that energy and you transmute it and transform it into a creation of yours, which you have your energy put into it, and you give it back to someone else who will be willing to receive it, the person who purchases your goods. And then when they wear it, they put their energy into it and they present it to the world, and the world receives it. So it's a whole process of give and take. Okay, that is who you are. Pile number 1. I think I'm going to close the window, it's getting cold. So what is your reason of being? You got these cards. Water element, number 11. I allow my body, mind, and spirit to flow intuitively through the changes in life. And then you got 22. Wow, these are master numbers. I believe it's 22 is a master number. Archangel Gabriel. I invite Archangel Gabriel to bring hope and intuition into my life. Wow, both are synchronized. I allow my body and spirit to flow intuitively through the changes of life. I invite Archangel Gabriel to bring hope and intuition into my life. Okay, so who are you? You are an intuitive, expressive being. You are meant to be a creative, flowing individual. That's who you are. What is your reason of being? Let's go deeper than that. So your reason of being is Estabas, angel of divination, and Simikil, angel of vengeance. Okay, I'm going to start channeling now after I show you. This is so beautiful. Okay, so this here is what you must do and who you must become. You must step into someone who can channel. So you're either a high priestess, you're meant to be doing spiritual work like me, or you're meant to express and send a message through your creations, through your intuitive creations. Angel of vengeance. I'm seriously getting really hardcore vibes of fighting for the injustice and being the voice for those who cannot speak. You're representing the minority, the underdogs, the black sheeps, the rebels with a cause, the misfits. Wow, this is powerful. What is your Jabberwocky? What is your fear? Your fear is completion and sorrow. Oh, that's deep. So your Jabberwocky, and which is your fear, the fear you must slay, you fear both incompletion during this lifetime, not being able to complete your purpose this lifetime, and you also fear the completion of your purpose this lifetime, because then you have the worry of where to go. Your fear is to be without purpose. Wow, that is such a catch-22, pile number 1. Your fear is to be without purpose, and your fear is also that you cannot complete your purpose. You have so much purpose and you have so much to do, you don't even know where to begin. You're overwhelmed. But both are in your mind. See, this person's isolated and they're in their mind. This person, the piece that is missing, they're afraid if they complete and accept their destiny, which is their intuition and their foresight, and to be able to share this vision, and that completes them, they're afraid. There'll be nothing left to do. And it's in the mind, it's in the third eye. So both is in the spiritual third, in the spiritual mind, and the logical mind. Your fear and your Jabberwocky is the mind. What is your Vorpal blade, which is your weapon of choice to slay? We got Zachriel, angel of memory. Netza, right leg endurance. And then the quote we have is, into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Maya Angelou. Oh, what did I say earlier? Social media warrior. Your voice for the unjust. And now we have Maya Angelou. I hope I said her name correctly. You should probably read her book. I'm going to read the book. I feel led to read the book too. Wow, this is so beautiful. I am moved. So, let's channel, shall we? Let's break this down, shall we? I'm so excited for this. All right. Who are you? You are someone who has truth and a vision and a perspective to share this lifetime. You have a vision and a view of how reality should be that has not yet already existed. So your voice is needed. Pile number 1. What is your reason of being? You are led and asked to express your perspective by following your gut, doing what you believe is right, what feels right and comes most naturally to you. You are meant to be in the state of always communicating because you're blue. It's so much blue. And white is crown, the crown chakra, which some people believe is purple. It could be both. But white and blue is like communicating through the crown, communicating through the divine, through you, to bring in divinity, clarity, justice, truth, peace, serenity. Resolute. That is your reason of being. Okay? And this sort of communication, there's some greens in here too, is tied to the matters of the heart, things that move people, things that are important to people. There's lilies here too. Let's look into the meaning of lilies. Purity and innocence. I think it's tiger lily that I'm looking at too. No, that's not tiger lily. What lily is it I'm looking at? That's a lily, right? Or is it a tulip? No, it's a calla lily. Okay, the meaning of white calla lilies. Purity. Resurrection and rebirth. Rebirth. Resurrection. You are meant to, you were born to step into the truth of who you are. And if you have been repressed, you are meant to be resurrected and reborn into this person, to step into the truth of who you are, to share this vision, to share this truth, this perspective that has been, I hear, pressured into a diamond that you have cultivated over the years of life on planet Earth. You have gathered enough, you have fought enough hardships to have the wisdom and the perspective through your hardships to back it up. And you can materialize that through your creation as a trader, as a creative person, through your communication and how you can channel and express the divine through you. What you must do and who you must become. For those of you who are spiritualists, spiritual practitioners, people like me, what you must do is step into your spiritual calling, whatever that might be. If it's to be closer to your faith, to go to your temple or church, to be learning your craft more. If you feel led to work with a certain deity or spirit guide or ancestors, if you're led to do root work, divinate, tarot reading, if you're asked and guided to practice meditation and to do yoga, step into that, because that is the direction that will lead you toward where you need to go for what you must do and in order to help aid into who you must become. So I'm going to read from my Oracle of Emanations book what Angel of Divination stands for. You've called its name, and so it has to come. So it has come, but you do not command what is foretold. Estabus can only be an uncertain ally in these mercurial times. Estabus reveals the ever-shifting rhythm of the skies and beckons us to observe the alignment of signs. So you are meant to pay attention to the synchronicity, to be in the present moment. Look, we hear a siren going off in the background. It's calling us to pay attention to something. And what is that? That's intuition. It's always there, trying to lead you where you need to go. But only if you're quiet and still enough to pay attention, to observe the signs. Something is seen in the clouds, in the leaves, in the shadows, something as glorious as fate. You observe something that could not, must not be real. Curiosity is your call to action. You are compelled to go. Signs, sacred geometry, a cup of tea, a falling star. You must be in tune with the universe, aligned with the divine, I hear. That's what you must do, which makes sense, because to allow your body, mind, and spirit to flow intuitively through the changes of life, in life, to invite Archangel Gabriel to bring hope and intuition into your life. Wow, I'm going to look into what Archangel Gabriel stands for. That will further reinforce why they have selected that angel to aid in intuition. Heavenly messenger sent to Daniel to explain the vision of the ram and the he-goat and to communicate the prediction of the 70 weeks. Okay, so that's what it says in the Dictionary Britannica. But Archangel Gabriel is the patron saint of all those who work in communication. Okay. Throat chakra. Yeah, definitely. Wow. Yes. Communication, postmen, ambassadors, journalists, couriers. Yeah, messenger. Okay, so if you're a spiritual practitioner like me, you may be what you must do and who you must become is the messenger to share your truth, your perspective of how you feel the world can be, to be a better place through your art, through your craft, through your passion, through your purpose. Okay, and who you must become is the angel of vengeance. We're going to look into that. Well, I want to channel this first. Hold on. There is red here. Root chakra. I feel like there is grounding of the truth because this is a sword and there's red on his hand and a little bit in the sword. And he's standing on the ground, which looks like there's a little bit of blood. But he has some in his body too. So I feel like it's like grounding the truth to reality. Because his feathers are black, I do sense there's a little bit of a crow energy there, which is about transformation. And the back is like a halo, but it's also like a dream catcher at the same time, and the mind is hollow. Doing it without thought, without being too much in the mind, which is your Jabberwocky. You must become someone who is mindless, egoless, fearless, thoughtless of the things that obstruct you, and not think about too much of the consequences or where do you go from here or what do you have to do next. Because if you live your life intuitively and you follow in your heart what must be done next, and you pay attention to the signs of the divine in life around you, that is more than enough answer. That is more than enough guidance in order to know what steps you need to take next to ground your voice of reason, to ground your authenticity, to ground your truth into fruition, into manifestation, into the world that we're living in, the 3D plane, the physical reality. To bring that transformation, to bring the death of a former way of doing, living, being, and seeing things, and to bring in a transition and a revelation of a new time of how things could be instead, improved, healed, harmonized, peaceful, serenity, rebirth, purity. Wow. Okay? What is your Jabberwocky? Your Jabberwocky, your fear is overthinking. You're so in your mind that you forget to act. You forget to be in your body. You're so in your mind, you forget to be in your body. You're so in your mind, you forget to take action. You're so in your mind, you forget that people cannot hear your thoughts. They can only hear your thoughts once you start to speak your truth and you take action to create and manifest your truth to reality. You bring it to fruition. And how do you do that? With your Vorpal blade. What is your Vorpal blade? Angel of memory, right leg endurance. I'm going to read what these are, okay? Memory. I feel like the memory, I'm getting emotional. I feel like the memory is not the memory of just this lifetime. It's the memory of all your lifetimes, your past lives. Pile 1, you guys are not a joke. You guys, not that you guys are jokes. I'm just saying, like, you guys are not here to play. Like, you guys are for real, okay? Your weapon of choice to slay your fear and to overcome this and to become the person you must step into and to do the things you must do this lifetime is to recall all the strings, to bring back all your memory of all your lifetimes, all the wisdoms, all the experiences, all the abilities, all the mastership. I'm hearing, I don't even know if that's a word. All of the lessons you have mastered in all your lifetimes, to recall that energy and power back to who you are. And once you remember who you are, Pile 1, you will have the strength and power to endure the weight of the world. You will be able to carry the weight of the world because you have more than one lifetime. You have thousands, if not trillions, if not millions, if not billions of lifetime worth of wisdom and truth that needs to be birthed and manifested and grounded into our earthly plane. It is into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise. I'm going to look into what daybreak means, okay? Daybreak, the time in the morning when daylight first appears. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise. So it's like beginning of a new day. Choosing to step into who you are. Beginning the journey. One step at a time towards your truth. Let's look into these messages, okay? Angel of memory, Zachriel. Eternally lost, Zachriel carelessly winds and unwinds the threads of thought. Oh my goodness. That could not be more synchronistic. You're trapped in your thoughts. Okay? Memory has no worries or concerns. You are safe to wrap yourself in the bands of time gone by as well. It is warm and safe within the fog of Zachriel. All you knew greets you, welcomes you, longs for you. The power of remembrance is balanced by the power of forgetfulness. Pouring memory into the cup of forgetfulness makes room for new memory. Wow. You guys heard that, right? I don't even need to explain what that is. You know. Pile 1, you guys are wise enough. You guys are insightful enough. You guys are deep enough. You guys are on my level. You know what I'm saying. Zachriel is the angel of all memory, even memory lost. If you take something with you, you must also leave something behind. Signs are not a loom amaze. So there is sacrifice, okay? What must you let go of in your mind? What memories that no longer serve you? What beliefs and thoughts no longer serve you? That you can pour into the cup of forgetfulness so you can retrieve memories that do serve you, memories that are long lost, that has been part of who you are, that will aid into helping you endure and become this warrior, that will become the angel of vengeance to bring peace, serenity, and truth into this world that we need so much. What are you willing to trade? What are you willing to let go of and trade of? Energy exchange. Energy exchange from the beginning. This is tying in so beautifully. Let's look at what endurance means, okay? Let's here it is. The seventh emanation, the force that resists. Did I read the Simkiel, Angel of Vengeance? Oh man, I'm channeling. I'm so loopy right now. Okay, let's read endurance first. Right leg endurance, which is for your Vorpal blade, your weapon of choice. Stalwart in the face of adversity, this great leader carries us forth through our darkest times. Netza is the strength to endure regardless of suffering. When we feel that we have reached our limits and yet new strength continues to emerge, we find the embrace of Netza. With any increase in force, he too grows stronger. Each challenge is met with equal vigor. The green orb is both the weight of a great boulder upon our shoulders and the strength needed to carry it, supporting the pillar of mercy. Netza is the closest we get to the base of the tree before merging back into the middle. His station is one of the constant stress and strain, supporting the weight of the tree by pressing back upward against it. Found in victory, exercise leadership. Okay? Your weapon of choice is to recall back all the memory and the power of lifetimes of who you are. All the abilities and skills you have mastered in different lifetimes. And to bring that into this lifetime. To wield it. So you have the ability to become the pillar of leadership that the world so much needs. So that into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, you may rise. I'm going to look into Angel of Vengeance to make sure I didn't overlook that Simikil. I don't think I looked into it because I was so passionately channeling. Here it is. When the time comes, we all call its name. It is ever the instinct in our throat when we seek retribution. We choke on it even as we languish in every syllable. But those who call on Simikil without cause will have harm fall back upon them threefold. Yeah, if people call upon vengeance without cause, they just want petty vengeance, it will harm them threefold. Your vengeance have to be justified. What type of vengeance and what intention, what purpose? It is the way of Simikil's sword, cutting in both directions. It's a double-edged sword, yes. What sacrifices are you willing to give in order to accomplish what it is that you're willing to gain, or to help the world as a collective gain? While we will gird our fragile hearts against being hurt, pain will make its attempts on us by any means necessary. It is in our soul to survive at all cost, even if it means violence. Try to resist the urges of your barbed heart. Simikil knows not forgiveness. Science, a sword, a thorny branch, pierced skin. It is in our soul to survive at all costs, even if it means violence. That's what's happening right now in our world. Try to resist the urges of your barbed heart. Simikil knows not forgiveness. Try to resist the urges of your barbed heart. I think that's a word of warning. Okay? Barbed heart means a closed heart. And this angel of vengeance knows not forgiveness. So if you call upon this angel of vengeance for the wrong intentions, you will experience this pain threefold. So who must you become, and what you must do is someone who is righteous. When you do work in your favor to gain vengeance, what sort of vengeance? Is it hateful vengeance? Or is vengeance redefined in the sense of bringing back order and peace to the world? Justice, social equilibrium. For people to find themselves in deeper truth, and helping them understanding that by stepping into your truth intuitively and expressing your views in the world, helping inspire and spark their purpose. You are a leader, Pile 1. You are a visionary. You are a mystic. You are the voice of reason for many people who have not found themselves because they're so trapped in their mind. So when you step into your purpose and you slay your Jabberwocky, Pile number 1, you will lead the way and example for other people to follow in your footsteps into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, so they too may rise. I strongly feel led to tell you to read the book by Maya Angelou. I'm going to link that book into the description. This is a very beautiful reading, and I certainly hope that it has helped you understand what fear you must slay and how you can go about slaying with it, okay? Because I have explained to you now what it is that you need to do. I certainly hope you enjoyed the reading. It was an absolute pleasure to tap into your energy. I hope it has been of immense value for you as it was for me. If you want a personalized reading from me and you want some more guidance, you're more than welcome to book a reading with me in my website down in the description box below. That is the one place you can get a reading from me. I do not message or reach out to anybody, okay? Those are scammers. And with that being said, we're going to move on to pile number 2. Hello there, pile 2s. For those of you who have chosen the light silver ball orb, this is your reading. Who are you? Pile number 2. Who are pile 2s? Dreamers, I hear. Come on, we need more. Eagle, Magic Guardian. Okay. A visionary. Okay. I'm going to leave this much here because I pulled out 4 already. I needed more to clarify. What is your reason of being? Oops. Let's see, what is your reason of being? I feel like it's this card. What is pile 2's reason of being? Wow, very spiritual pile. Okay. What is your Jabberwocky? What is your fear? No, I skipped ahead. What must you do and who must you become? What must you do, pile 2, and who must you become. Same card flew out. Okay, these, whoever you guys are that are coming to me in this video, we seem to all be aligning. Okay, so what must you do and who must you become? Pile 2. Wow, okay. Now we have to look at what is your Jabberwocky, your fear. What is your Jabberwocky? Pile number 2. What is your Jabberwocky? Pile number 2. Interesting. Okay, I get it now. What is your Vorpal blade? Weapon of choice to slay. Card. What is your Vorpal blade? Pile number 2. What is your Vorpal blade? Okay, what else? Vorpal blade. I feel like using Angelarium again. What is your Vorpal blade? Pile number 2. I feel like I need to pull a few more cards for the weapon of choice so I can begin channeling. Okay. What is your Vorpal blade? Pile 2. Okay, cool. I'm going to show you the cards now. I hope I can show you guys properly. Okay, this is who you are. We got Star Ancestor, follow the voice of your soul. Drum, dream and journey. Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within. Eagle, see from a higher perspective. So pile number 2, you are meant to be someone who guides others and or a mediator of some sort. You have the ability to see things others are overlooking, but I hear within this lifetime, your greatest block is yourself. And the reason why is there's a fear of the world outside. It sounds so simple in a way, or abstract, like it doesn't make sense, but let me get into the channel and explain to you, okay? What is your reason of being? So you got Archangel Raphael, number 9, and Crown Chakra, 26, which is 6 plus 2 is 8, so 8 and 9. I invite Archangel Raphael to bring healing and knowledge into my life, and I know I am part of Source and my life is guided by divine wisdom. So who you are, yeah, a mediator. You're meant to bring peace to people who have conflicting views or perspectives, whether it be on a small scale, like helping friendships reconcile. I even hear like you would naturally be good at reconciling relationships. Like you would be a good relationship coach or a couples counselor, and you're good at settling differences. That is your reason of being, and it may be something you don't realize yet, or you're afraid to step into, or it makes you uncomfortable thinking about it. But every time you were forced, your hand was forced, I hear, when you did speak up and you did share your perspective, it like lifts a veil to people, and they're like, whoa, I never saw it that way before. Like, you're right. And then they realize that they're both fighting about the same thing, and they immediately make up, and you're like, oh gosh, like why didn't you just make up earlier? But the reason why they didn't make up earlier is because they couldn't see what you saw. And I think that may have really traumatized you, because you were like put into the war zone, so to speak, of you're like in between the conflict, and it stresses you and you don't like that at all. But the moment you said something about it, it brought peace. So you were too traumatized and scarred by the conflict itself, rather than seeing that the fact that you have the ability to literally settle down whatever it is that other people don't have the ability to within themselves without you. You are the bringer of peace, pile number 2. What must you do / who must you become? We got these cards for you. You got Yesod, Root Connection, Crucial, Angel of Punishment, Simikil, Angel of Vengeance. Okay, that is what you must do and who you must become. Let's figure out that message. So what you must do is you must ground. I get it now. So you're kind of an explosive person, pile number 2, in the sense that you will let things build up like a volcano until you can't handle it anymore. And then when your hand is forced, then you'll be like, fine, I'll out with it. Blah, 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 blah. But the blah, 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 blah is so awakening and revolutionary that others go, oh. But you don't have to get to that point where you're like a volcano. So what you must do is learn to speak your truth before it builds up, to ground it, root connection, to bring it from the heavens to the earth. There's blue and red here. Blue is throat chakra, communication, expression. The red in the center is about, you know, the earthly planes, the physical things. Here on earth, the tangible. So at the heart of it, you are a very grounded person, but for some reason, your perspectives and your ability to voice out your thoughts about it are not anywhere near the reality of where we are existing and residing, which is earth. You, for whatever reason, you're not sharing it. That's what you must do. Okay, who you must become? Angel of punishment, angel of vengeance. So I feel that, like, of course, these are very harsh words, but I feel like you're meant to bring justice and the truth into the perspective of things. You're meant to pierce into the truth of people for them to realize, oh, they're being very ignorant or stubborn or petty, or they're so blinded by their hate and their pain that they're unable to see the love and the truth that is really there. And you're meant to peel back those layers. And the form of punishment you deal out is not like a punishment that is unjust. It's like karma. It's like, well, if a person doesn't see how hurtful they've been, you're going to say the truth for them to realize that all the suffering that has been occurring in their life was literally the result of the consequences of their own actions. And that realization itself is more than enough of a form of punishment within itself. So you bring balance. Angel of Vengeance is the same thing. When you help people align and realize the accountability of their own actions and truth, and they are actually more empowered to stop this behavior and to discontinue contributing to a cycle of a pattern in their life, it brings a form of vengeance, of transformation. And it's like I don't even know if this exists, but I'm hearing like a holy vengeance, like if vengeance can be holy, this is what you would be. Like if vengeance could be pure and good, it's the type of vengeance where it's to bring things back into equilibrium, to bring things back into a state of balance. If a lot of hate and conflict and war has been happening, as soon as you open your mouth, it will wipe all that slate clean and make it so clear for others to see and realize that their behaviors were unjust, uncalled for, didn't make sense. They were drunk on violence, drunk on jealousy, drunk on fear, drunk on pain. And they sober up into the realization of the actual circumstances at hand, the reality of the truth of what they're facing and where it's coming from and how they're contributing it and how they're enabling it. That sort of vengeance, you're wiping away that distortion and disillusion, and you're bringing you're bringing the much needed justice that has been waiting. And the fact that I said must, this is, well, who must you become, right? It's a must. Why is it a must? Because we need people like you, pile number 2. That's why. Can you imagine if all you had to do was just open your mouth and your voice and your truth and perspective is the magic key for people to just snap out of their disillusionment of whatever they're doing that's contributing to the suffering and pain of themselves and others in life? Wouldn't you do it? You would. But the thing is, you have a fear. Let's go into your fear and see what your Jabberwocky is, pile number 2. We got adventure. We are the world and the outsider. Okay. So what is your fear, pile number 2? You fear spontaneity. You fear the world. You fear being around others in large groups. And you fear being outside. You're more so a hermit type of person, and you keep to yourself. And you're somewhat antisocial. You're more comfortable being by yourself than to be around others. But the thing is, a large part of your fear of the outside is because you don't feel like you're capable or competent or have what it takes to be this person that you feel called to in life. I feel like you often think about it. And whenever there are conflicts and confusion, you see the truth so clearly, but you always hesitate to speak it. But because you hesitate to speak it, you feel miserable. You feel like an outcast. And often probably because you have Heyoka tendencies, a Heyoka empath tendency. I'll link what that Heyoka empath is in the link in the description for you to look further into. You feel like often when you do speak your truth, you are rejected for it, or ridiculed for it, or further outcasted and seen as like a weirdo. I'm hearing the word weirdo. Maybe someone has called you a weirdo in the past for sharing a perspective that was very unconventional. Even though it resolved their issue, they didn't thank you for it. So you must have had a lot of thankless work in the past that has caused you to feel so chained up, and it makes you feel like, well, if you don't say anything, it's annoying as heck anyways, because you're still subjected to people's bullshit. And if you do say something, you're still outcasted. But the truth is, you're not. If you look really closely at this picture, the chain is actually open. There's no lock. It's a lock of the perception of your mind. What that means to me, pile number 2, is that this feeling of being outcasted, sure, it may have happened in the past, but not everyone outcasted you. If anything, you have done the punishment and you carried it out forward with yourself, and you've decided to outcast yourself around others. So when people talk and make events and plans, I bet you automatically assume that they would not even include you. Simple as that. Because of your trauma from the past, because it has happened. You feel like the world understands one another, and you're like just the stars around it, because you're like this. It's kind of funny how it's like similar. I'll show you it's similar. You see how like there's the earth, the groundedness, the root chakra, which is the earth, the physical realm, and all the communication and the truth and the perspectives of blue is surrounding it. And it's similar. It's the earth, and there's people on it, and then there's all the blue surrounding it. But the thing you don't see is they're both one and the same. You think you're just outside surrounding it, but the truth is you're part of the world, and others are surrounding you. And the reason why you always try to avoid the conflict, and you feel like, oh my gosh, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You're always putting with other people's bullshit, and you try not to voice it, and it's almost like they always seem to force your hand every single time. You know why? It's not because they're trying to make you suffer. It's because universe and your higher self knows that this is part of your calling. And these other people subconsciously know you have the key and the truth to helping unlock them and set them free from their circumstances. You have the ability to break their karma, unchain them from the patterns that they're repeating constantly over and over again. So you think that people surrounding you is a curse, when in fact it's a hidden blessing. They know you have the answer, and you know you have the answer, but you're afraid to share it, and they want you to share it. So they're invoking and provoking it from you in a way that doesn't seem healthy or consenting or respectful. So it's like you think you're outside, when in fact they see you as the world. They just don't handle it properly. They don't handle your truth properly. They have a knee-jerk reaction to it. That's why it made you feel like you're an outcast and that you got punished for your truth. But people actually respect you and need your truth more than you'll ever know. Their pride is in the way, and they can't admit that. But that is not the point. You understanding who you are and your reason of being, and knowing what it is you must do and who you must become in this lifetime, has nothing to do with other people's opinion about you. It has everything to do with you acknowledging the truth of who you are and stepping into becoming you, the true you, thus setting yourself free. See, look at this. Rainbows everywhere, right? It's the same rainbows as the people of the world, because you see all the perspectives. It's in you. That's why they're attracted to you. And just like the earth, you're blue. Your communication, your truth. You're non-biased, non-judgmental. Do you understand? Do you see how everyone sees you as this treasure chest except for yourself? You have the veil over your own eyes. It must have been a form of self-protection at some point, but I'm pretty sure that a part of you feels like something is missing in your life. And even though you do feel safe when you lock yourself out and you've outcasted yourself from everyone else, there's a part of you that feels really dissatisfied and incomplete. I'm going to pull more cards to clarify more on that. I feel drawn to go more into that. Can we ask about, knowing more about what they must do and who they must become. I feel like there's more messages there. Okay, you got Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. Just carrying a lot of burdens that aren't really yours. And really having to defend yourself all the time. Yet everything you do is so... People don't appreciate you until way long after the time has passed. But that's because they're not on your level. You have to learn to detach yourself from that. This is bleeding into what is your Vorpal blade and your weapon of choice, because literally I'm like talking about why you need to detach from the opinion of other people. Why do you need to attach from the opinion of other people? Because your opinion is what matters. Their opinion is what's keeping them in the loop. Your opinion is the one that sets them free. You have the ability to use your own truth for yourself to set yourself free. Let's go into the Vorpal blade and see what is your Vorpal blade. What is your weapon of choice to slay this fear? We got the big question is whether you're going to be able to say a hearty yes to your adventure. Oh my God, and we have an adventure card here. What is this synchronicity? Look at that. Joseph Campbell. We have Sahakil, Angel of Sky. Hasmed, Angel of Annihilation. And then we have Playfulness and Silence. These are the answers to how you can slay your fear. Okay, so let's channel it. The big question is whether you are going to be able to say a hearty yes to your adventure. Yeah, because you're the gatekeeper. That's the truth. This gate here is so true, because this gate here is the dam that prevents the water from coming through. You're preventing the truth from coming through, your truth. The truth that would set so many free. And it's up to you to say yes to opening up that lock so you can start walking out towards your adventure, towards the world, to helping those who need it. So what is your weapon of choice? What's your Vorpal blade? Angel of Sky, Angel of Annihilation. You are above these people, okay? Not to sound pretentious, but it's true. You are above because you have the perspective that is above theirs. That's why you can help people. You see the solution that they don't. You see the path ahead. Angel of Annihilation. Yeah, you have the ability to destroy their existing beliefs. To free them from the chains of their beliefs so they can move forward. Right? In order to... If we were to put it in a very aggressive way, in order to come to a resolution in the truth of something, in order to move forward in life, or even change the way we go about doing something, we have to first remove or let go or destroy the blockage that is in front of us. The preconceived illusion of this former belief that no longer helps us and is holding us back. We have to break down those blockages. We have to annihilate it for it to be a path clear ahead. I'm going to read into what these are, okay? So let's go into Angel of Sky. Sahakil. Sahakil, Angel of Sky. The shield bearer and the gatekeeper. Oh my goodness, what did I say? Gatekeeper. Gatekeeper who stands outside the gateway between Angelarium and the expanse of existence. A benevolent figure whose compassion knows no bound or equal. Sahakil blesses and protects, shielding us from storm and fire alike. The sky forms a ring around the earth many times over. Its movement forms the clouds, obscures the sun, and reminds us that Sahakil stands guard, a shield, a ring, a blessing hand, Yeah, you are here to protect people. You don't even realize it, but the fact that if you can dissolve conflict and reconcile people, you're helping people go from one extreme into the opposite. You're bringing them from violence into love. And this is going to help bring a lot of unity into the world, the peace we need. You're like the person that rolls up their sleeves and goes into the trenches to like resolve things. There are different people who heal and help the world in different ways, right? Others do it through inspiration and through their creativity. You go through it through direct contact and direct communication, addressing the literal issue at hand, like literally in there, deliberately be like, look, this is happening and this is happening, what about this? Although it's a little hard, I'm being led to tell you, you might need some training. If you haven't had formal training, you might want to look into that and start seeing if you can find mentor or courses that can help you strengthen your negotiation skills, your ability to talk in an affirming, intimidating manner to help be seen and taken seriously. Yeah, you might want to look into a form of coaching so you can take this innate ability that comes so natural to you, pile number 2, and hone it and wield it so you can become the angel of punishment and the angel of vengeance in a, of course, justice, equilibrium, right way, you know, in a way where it brings peace and balance, restores the peace, stops the violence, stops the war. A negotiator, a mediator, a peacekeeper. If you wanted to take this to the next level, this sort of thing, I can see it going into a field where you would be that person, that middleman that helps negotiate between two countries to settle for a type of business. Like maybe, like example, back then when, this is what I'm hearing, when Cuba and the States had an embargo and the States refused to do business with Cuba for like so long, you're going to be that middleman that helps bring the peace in and helps it so both sides have benefits and it overall benefits all of the economy and all of the world globally, collectively as a whole. And that may seem like a really big task to take, but that is also why you have the chance and opportunity to go study, take coaching lessons, find a mentor to hone this, so you would be prepared to do that if you ever decide to or feel called to go towards that direction. You could also do these things in a much smaller scale, like couples counseling. You could be like a leader of some form to help negotiate between different communities of things. Like example, maybe you work at helping the government oversee recreational communities that has like resources available to the public, with whether it be sports and arts, entertainments, or whatever it is for children and elderlies or whatever in between, you know, to have access to. And you feel like perhaps there is not enough material or facilities or, I don't know, equipments or budgets for a certain department of the community in one sector where another has a lot. You will be that person to reach out to the higher ups or talk and negotiate between the two buildings to find a way where they can distribute or share and open up their resources so other communities within the surrounding areas of the same umbrellas would benefit as well. I hope that makes sense. And how do you do this? You approach all of this with playfulness and inner peace, trusting in the process and knowing that whatever it is, you'll figure it out. And if you can't figure it out now, you'll figure it out later, because you have this innate talent and ability within you. With your heart, with your voice, green, blue, with your willpower, yellow, you have the ability to be creative and imaginative, orange, and ground that into reality, red. Because you have the ability to foresee, purple, and understand the bigger perspective, crown chakra, and communicate that to others, blue chakra. Okay? So let's go and look into the messages deeper for these. Okay, I feel called for reading that for you. So, root connection, yesod. All right, found it. Yesod, root connection, the ninth emanation. The foundation that supports the world and forms the gateway between the spiritual and physical. Yesod is the medium through which we experience the tree of life. Upon his shoulder rests the sky, and all that lies beyond it runs through his fingers. We stand at this doorway and peer through, seeking answers to our nature. Through the indigo orb, a gateway appears. As a single column again, the flow of energy through the tree only moves downward. Yesod is the last stop before moving into the fully physical realm. He is the looking glass through which we examine ourselves. Oh my gosh, that's such an Alice in Wonderland reference there. Found in New Life speech, a doorway. What did I say? You're the portal from a higher perspective into our reality. Okay, let's look at Kushiel, angel of punishment. The hunter whose prey is falsehood. You see that? What I just said? It's not sounding so aggressive, like angel of punishment. Like you're not punishing the unjust. You're punishing disingenuine, the distortion, the lies, the illusions that make people go into a state of war and conflict, right? And what is that? It's falsehood. So the hunter whose prey is falsehood. Outbreakers beware. Outbreakers beware. Kushiel will seek you out, even as you stalk your own victims. Punishment is upon you. No one escapes the mark of Kushiel. There are consequences for breaking your word. The pieces sharpen and sink into your flesh, embedding themselves within your heart. Very symbolical. So long as the offense stands, you will always be held in the sights of the hunter. Seeking absolution is noble, however tedious. Begin that journey with haste, lest Kushiel find you first. Signs: a spear, a shaft of light, a raven. Yeah, so you will always be in the sight of the hunter. Seek absolution. Seeking absolution is noble. So yeah, to live life with integrity and to be accountable for your words is tedious, but it's the best way to live, to avoid, well, not avoid, but to have a peaceful, loving life. And if you don't do that, and you do everything by cutting corners with the way you treat people, the way you talk, and the way you just behave overall in life, it will catch up to you. How? Through karma. And you are the living embodiment of karma. You serve karma. You're a karma server. You are a karma server. You bring justice where it needs to be brought. That is part of your purpose this lifetime. Pile number 2. I'm going to read Angel of Vengeance. Simikel. When the time comes, we all call its name. It is ever the instinct in our throat when we seek retribution. We choke on it even as we languish in every syllable. But those who call on Simikel without cause will have harm fall back upon them threefold. It is the way of Simikel's sword, cutting in both directions. While we will gird our fragile hearts against being hurt, pain will make its attempt on us by any means necessary. It is in our soul to survive at all cost, even if it means violence. Try to resist the urge of your barbed heart. Simikel knows not forgiveness. A sword, a thorny branch, pierced the skin. Yeah, so you are not here to make friends with this purpose of yours. Do you understand? Like, I mean, of course, don't get me wrong. You are here to make friends. But when you step into your truth and when you're being who you are and you're acknowledging your reason of being and you're doing what you must in order to become who you must become, the person you are becoming the person you have become, or the person you are meant to be, your purpose is not to make friends, okay? You can make friends outside of your purpose, but your purpose, when you're doing what you do best, is to bring justice, to bring peace, to bring equilibrium. That's why it doesn't matter how other people perceive you. It doesn't matter why if people reject you or doesn't treat you well, because you're not here to make friends. You're here to bring justice, you're here to bring peace, and you're here to allocate things where they are rightfully meant to be and belong, in order for things to flow peacefully and for things to be, I hear, economically justified. So on your off times, maybe that's why there's playfulness and silence. There's a sense of balance. For you saying yes to this adventure is when you decide, okay, when I do this, I will start finding a part of my life where I can be this person here that I'm so good at being, without needing to worry about how people perceive me. And then on my own time, I can be this person. You don't have to be this person all the time. You don't have to point out other people's flaws all the time. I think because right now you're not exactly sure how to draw your boundaries on knowing when to turn it off, because you haven't acknowledged or faced this ability of yours. So it's kind of leaking out everywhere, and people are drawn to you and attracted to bringing this out of you, and you don't know how to say no because you don't even know what's going on. So as soon as you acknowledge and realize this is your skill and your innate ability, your talents dormant in you, you will know if people do that. Those type of people, chances are in your personal life, you want to like space away from them, and you don't want to surround yourself with people who have those toxic abilities. You want people who are peaceful and can see the truth just like you and be peaceful and be in silence, okay? This is the type of friendship you need to cultivate. People who see the bigger picture and who also aspire to break down blockages and annihilate things in their path to clear the way to live a life of truth and live a life of peace. Chances are the friends you will get along with are in pile number 1. So if you're curious who pile number 1 is, listen to pile number 1. Then you can even spot how pile number 1s are like, and cultivate that kind of friendship. So the rest of the world that is not so peaceful and is more in chaos, you can do your work by being this way that you naturally are, without having to fear rejection, because you're not an outsider. You are part of the world. You are of the world. You are needed in the world. And these people who are lost seek you because they see that you're not lost. They see that you know something, just the way you carry yourself. Drum is you follow by the beat of your own drum. Unlock the magic within. You're a magic guardian naturally. You're a very spiritual person. See from a higher perspective. You know something that they don't, and they can tell. They can feel that. That's why they're gravitating towards you. So it's important that you can keep your inner circle peaceful and playful, and aspire the same values as you. Seeing things from a higher perspective, the ability to negotiate and keep calm, and also see when something's in their path that they would release it, and also be willing to destroy it to move ahead. Those are the friendships you need. Then you will feel supported. So when you go off into the adventure, you feel like a person who will be perfectly equipped for your journey to do what you need to do, which is to deal out the justice that is much needed in this world. Okay, pile number 2. That was such a very beautiful reading. I certainly hope it brought you a lot of clarity and a deeper understanding of yourself and who you are to become this lifetime. If you have any questions or concerns or anything, any thoughts and opinions, feel free to leave it in a comment down below. Aside from that, if you want a personalized reading from me, you can check it out on my website in the description box. That's the only place you can find readings from me. And be sure to like and subscribe for any of you guys who listen to Pile 1 and 2 or both. I certainly hope you enjoyed it. I am so thankful to be able to tap into your energy, and it was an absolute pleasure to be able to read for both of you. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.